And we made it to Mythic. We are Mythic rank. All right, I'm excited to see what position we got. Rank number 72. Not bad. Not bad at all. Hey guys, welcome back to another Magic the Gathering video. It is me, Plantasico, and in this one we're going to be taking a look at the Naya Humans deck that I used in order to speedrun all the way to Mythic within 2 days of playing. It's a really wonderful deck. I love playing this deck. It has a feel between aggro and mid-range. It's a very board-centric deck, but we'll save the deck tech for the end of the video. But for now, check out these 3 last games that I played in Diamond Rank that got me to Mythic. And if you're interested, you can always watch the little deck tech at the end. Enjoy, guys. Randomski, the opponent. Okay, opponent's on the play. That means we are on the draw. Now, typically I would love to see a 2-drop. Now, I'm going to say this is a very mediocre hand. Although I am going to keep it because we are on the draw, so chances are we do draw land. And maybe a 2-drop. Let's try it out. Let's see what happens. If we're playing against a control deck, this could be a losing hand very fast. But let's see. One, two, three, four, five, six. Opponent did mulligan. There's that 2-drop we were looking for. And now, fingers crossed for a land. And then we should be good to go. Should be. All my dreams do come true. Let's go. You know what? Before we do this, let's attack. See if they got anything. Doesn't seem like they got anything. So let's play this guy. Down to 18 life, but you know. Gotta do what you gotta do. Let's see. Eiganjo. Pretty slow. Now I think we're gonna be playing the Peacekeeper here and looking at that hand, making sure they don't have any depopulates or so. Well, they don't seem to have much. I think if we lay down arms, okay, the problem is if we go restoration, if we call restoration of Eiganjo, he plays a plains, lays down my dude, and then plays a restoration. So it doesn't bring much. At least if we say the lay down arms, he has to use up a whole turn for it. So lay down the arms, we shall call. And then we'll attack with our 2 dudes. Because at the end, having to deal with an Eiganjo isn't the worst thing. Here he gets to ramp. I would assume he ramps here. Yeah. Plays this, and then plays the field. And now has 2 choices. Either he eliminates the Peacekeeper for 3 mana. Yeah. Oh. Huh. I would have thought the Peacekeeper here. That's fine. Go to combat. And here we'll pass turn. I mean, we could remove two counters here and destroy the Eiganjo. But I don't think that's so necessary since we do have the Brutal Cathar. There's transforms. Wonder what these 2 cards are. Let's see. Eternal Wanderer. Okay.
I'll make the most of the little time I have.
Yep. Resolves.
Kneel before the Emperor of Kamigawa.
We'll name humans. Take the Brutal Cathar. Get rid of that guy. And play the Thalia here. Get rid of their Wanderer. He does play the Eiganjo. I'm not sure. Maybe I would have kept that as removal, but I don't know what they have in hand, so. If here he just passes. Okay. That's fine with me. Ooh, do I not have any? No, I did play it. Yeah, but at the end. That is fine. And this might be game. We'll give it say Thalia. And that's GG. Give him the old GG. Nope, too slow. Alright, 2 more wins. So let's see. Opponent STS66, and we have pretty decent hand here. 1, 2 into maybe we draw a 3 or something to do on 3, and then our big 4 drops. So we're gonna keep going second again. Not the greatest. Ooh, against mono red. This could spell disaster. I mean, honestly, him using some burn on the Defector Mite, I wouldn't mind at all. Play with fire to the face. Might be a race. Opponent did keep that card on top. Yeah, Feldon. And now our Thalia is protected. Ooh, it's quite the bad hand. But we do have the Eiganjo. I might use that to as removal. We'll see. The Swift Spear. Yep. Resolves. Yes. So at least now we're building up a bit of a wall for Feldon. Here we'll just take the damage. Now important to notice in this deck, we don't have much sources of healing other than our Lord. Wow. Talk about fucking shitty draws. Let's say human. Say next. No attack. And end turn. Yeah, very unlucky draws. But so is Magic. Oof, rough. Reckless Impulse. At least Thalia is giving them some trouble, which is good. Here we just block. We'll allow him to draw or look at 2 cards and pick one. I have half a mind to just throw that Eiganjo at the Monastery Swift Spear, but that would slow us down so much. Now granted, we can't even play the Sigarda here. We don't have the mana for it. My turn. We'll do this. Oh, we do actually now with the Eiganjo. Sorry, that was my miscalculation. Now, what's better here? Um, Actually, maybe... Oh, this is a tough one. We'll just do this. And say no attack. Just stay safe for one more turn. And I think we might actually put Adeline before Sigarda just because she has vigilance, so we can start punching. Okay. Got a big hand here, sir. What do you play? A Swift Spear. And Ancestral Anger for 2 mana, or your Reckless Stormseeker. Yep, so you draw the card. Double Prowess trigger. Resolves. And if Edgic. Okay. Pass, so we trade here, take this. Pass. My turn. Plaza of Heroes. Play the Adeline here. Then next, give her a little boost. And then I think we start attacking like this. Is there a way we could die here? Double lightning strike to the face. No, that still doesn't kill us. Yeah, let's do this. And then hopefully we get there with Sigarda next turn. That's fine. We'll just do like, yeah, this. Red. You want to lightning strike it? There you go. Good boy. Okay. And now? Attack. Yeah. GG. We are on the play versus the opponent, Sean, with a pretty decent hand. What would be nicer if we had 3 lands here, but I mean, yeah, let's try it out. Sean. Potentially the last boss. Potentially. Let's see. Opponent does keep the hand. Now we hope to be against a control deck or something like this. Would be nice. Mono red. Surprise, surprise. We're gonna attack. Opponent seems to be holding up a play with fire. So that's probably going to come down on the Thalia. So I think... Oof, here we do take 2 damage, but so it is. I think here Melira is better. It blocks better, and it doesn't insta-die to... Or the Hopeful Initiate doesn't insta... Well, I guess the result would have been the same, huh? Yeah, maybe that was a bit of a blunder from me. Swift Spear. Into Ancestral Anger. Pass. Say no blocks. Pass. My turn. Good that we drew this. You know, Katilda into Skrelv is not a bad play, but it is very susceptible to end the festivities. So, unless we go... Yeah, Katilda into then Thalia. Whew, and we bet on them not having end the festivities. I mean, anything that we play is all 1 drop, so might as well do this into this and say go. And now at least potentially we have enough to play the Alena next turn, maybe some Skrelv action also. But now if they have a lightning strike, that's their turn spent using lightning strike, so you know, we'll see. Okay, squeeze fine. Squee is definitely fine. We'll play this. Combat. Boost up the Thalia. And then attack here. Yeah, sure. See if he double blocks. At the end, he could double block and only lose 1 creature, go 1 for 1, but maybe that wasn't what he was interested in. Could have just developed the Skrelv here, but I think we need to put the pressure on. We need to win the race here, and we're a little bit behind. Double Swift Spear into... that's pretty good, no Lightning Strike. If Halana and Alena partners do survive, this could be quite good for next turn, I must say. This would be a magical next turn. Perfect. done. This, next. Her. Let's do this. And I guess the Skrelv, huh? Yeah, we'll play the Skrelv. We've successfully vomited our hand, so now let's see if we make it through. Yes, a lightning strike. Okay. Do we sack the Melira here to bring back the Thalia? I don't think so, because I mean, what else are they gonna do, right? Sure. A land into a play with fire. Ancestral anger, okay. Pass. And the scoop. GG's. And we made it to Mythic. We are Mythic rank. Alright, so in this deck, what do we run? We run as our 1-drops 4 Hopeful Initiate and 4 Skrelvs. In the 2-drop slot, we have Intrepid Adversary 3 times, Thalia, Katilda, a 1 copy, Melira Living Cure, Anointed Peacekeeper in the 3 slot with some Brutal Cathars, Adeline, and then in the 4-drop we have Halana and Alena and Sigarda. Now, when you play this deck, it's very important to mulligan for your 1, 2, 3. This is key to winning these matches. I've won tons of games that are mulligan down to 5, but if you just keep a slow hand that has 3 drops and maybe 1 2-drop, a couple 3 drops, or if you keep too many 3 drops without having your 3rd land, you set yourself behind so fast, and it's so key in playing this deck to have presence on the board at all times, right? You always want to have something there, something that you're going to beef up, something that you're going to be able to interact with, because at the end we have no non-creature spells, right? Everything's a creature. Skrelv is an excellent addition to this deck because it has the ability to give hexproof to anything, really, right? So, and also because it has the artifact creature type, it dodges the go for the throat, so the opponent needs a cut down or some other type of removal in order to remove it, and it always feels bad to use like a soul transfer or hero's downfall or something like this on a one drop card, right? Also, the Hopeful Initiate is usually if I have both of these in my first hand, I tend to go more for the Skrelv because the Skrelv adds protection. The only time I will put the Initiate over the Skrelv is if I am holding a Katilda, because Katilda also allows for to use the Hopeful Initiate as a mana source if you were to ever have another Initiate in hand or a Skrelv Defector Mite, so that you'd effectively have 3 cards on board on 2 mana, right? Other than that, Melira is excellent card. Maybe that's a bit different than your normal Naya humans deck. This deck I like playing this card mostly because it's new and because of its secondary effect, the Exile effect, which adds on to another protection spell for, let's say, your Adeline, your Sigarda, or your Halana, your key most important cards, or even to bounce your Anointed Peacekeeper. But it is something to keep in mind that it only works if the creature that you're trying to protect goes to the graveyard, right? So if it's exiled, like with a Lay Down Arms or with a Farewell or something like this, this does not work. And I got caught a few times when I was learning to play this deck by this specific thing. Or when you play for, I don't know, 4 hours straight, then you start to lose the banana, right? I suck at doing this. Also, Thalia. Thalia is an excellent card, especially in this deck, right? 0 non-creature spells, so this hits everything else. And the curve of Skrelv into Thalia is so strong to be able to protect your Thalia. That then leads you on to whatever your 3rd drop, your 3-drop, or your 4-drop is very good. Brutal Cathar. We've all seen this card 1,000 times. We hate it. We love it. Just an excellent card. It's our only source of removal in the deck, so. Kind of have to include 4 copies, even though sometimes in these control matchups, it's basically a dead card. It's the only card that I feel sometimes I'm like, oh man, I hate having this in my hand. But really, it's just so necessary to get rid of these Shieldreds or these Phyrexian Obliterators or whatever could stand in your way that then really screws with your game plan of developing a board and smashing your opponent's face in, right? That sounded a bit more violent than I wanted to, but you know what I mean. The Anointed Peacekeeper is probably what makes this deck a bit more tough to play correctly, because you need to understand a bit the metagame and what you're playing against in order to make proper decisions on what you name with the Anointed Peacekeeper. For those of you that don't know, the Anointed Peacekeeper names a card, any card in the game, but you get to look at your opponent's hand first, and then you name a card, and the opponent has to pay 2 extra manas for this card to cast it or to cast abilities on it, right? So it's important to understand what the metagame is, what deck you're facing, and what to call out in order to have the best advantage possible. Other than that, Vigilance card, very good. Good against mono red, good against basically everything. Also excellent when you play it down and you start boosting it up with Alena. Also a great card in this deck. Gives also haste to any creatures that it targets. So very good. Also very good if you are to hold a Halana and a Sigarda in your hand and you hit your turn 4. Now you don't know which one to play. I'd always suggest to play the Alena first. And then when you do play your Sigarda, the Sigarda will give a +1/+1 as it is your lord in the deck. Gives a +1/+1 to everyone. Well, every human that is. Humans, and then that means that Halana and Alena are then 3/4, which then give 3 +1/+1 counters. So you get an extra counter for doing this way, and also you give your Sigarda haste, which then can allow you to look at the top 5 cards and pick a human out of it and put it in your hand, revealing it, of course. Other than that, the deck is basically, it plays a lot like a tempo deck, right? You need your turn 1, your turn 2, your turn 3. It doesn't always happen like this, but it's excellent. Another thing to mention is the Intrepid Adversary is your other Lord effect in the deck, where it gives +1/+1. You definitely want to play this more on turn 4 than you do on turn 2. But also against mono red or more aggressive decks, it's okay to play it on turn 2, as it is a 3/1 that blocks and lifelinks, right? So excellent card even on turn 2 in the right matchups. But typically you don't want to play it on turn 2. And that's basically it. I think I mentioned pretty much anything that covers this, but it's a bit expensive deck to be playing if you're newer to Magic, as the win rate can very much differentiate based on your understanding of the game. So if you haven't played Magic for a while, or at least you don't know the standard metagame so well, then this might not be the best deck to start with or to go down with. But I think if you like playing creatures and you like having a board presence, and this is definitely the deck for you, right? Also, Plaza of Heroes protects everyone on your team except for the Peacekeeper and the Brutal Cathar, I guess, and the Adversary. So maybe not everyone, but it definitely protects the Skrelv, and the Skrelv protects everyone else. So protect the protector. Anyways, that's it, guys. Take care.